finding your comfortable seated position. I like to put a blanket and sit at the edge of the blanket, removing the extra flesh. Another thing that I really like is placing blankets or blocks under my knees. It's just, I feel more supported. But you go ahead and do what you need to do. Maybe you want to sit on a pillow or bolster instead, and that's perfectly fine. And we'll take a few moments here, closing the eyes, relaxing the shoulders back and down. You can rest your palms on your knees, palms down. And just allowing your mind to just be here in your body with your breath. And just observe the risings and fallings of your breath. So we're going to set up that Dirga Pranayama pattern. As you breathe in, you want to bring the breath and awareness down into your tummy and expand into your belly. Even if it feels like nothing is going on into the belly, that's okay. Fill up as much as you can, just the tummy. And when you exhale, let all the air go and draw the navel gently in towards the spine, allowing all the air out. Let's take 3 more breaths like this. Into the belly, rising energy of prana. Just allow your tummy to move and expand. And as you exhale, grounding energy of apana, draw your navel in towards your spine. Two more breaths. One more, breathing in, expand into your tummy. And release, let all the air go. The next time you inhale, send your breath into your tummy. And think about filling up the side ribs, expanding sideways into your body. You might feel the sides of your body moving towards your arms, filling up into your armpits. Exhale from the armpits and side ribs. And finally, bring your navel in towards the spine. Empty your belly. We'll take 3 more breaths like this. Breathing into your tummy, into your side ribs, into your armpits. Exhale from the armpits. Empty your tummy. 2 more. Last breath. The next time you inhale, fill up your tummy, your side ribs, your armpits, your upper back, and your chest. You may feel now your shoulders rising and expanding, not because you're moving them, but because you're growing with prana. When you exhale, let the air go from the top of the shoulders, upper back and chest, side ribs, and finally empty your belly again. It will feel backwards for some of us, and that's okay, but just continue to try. Breathe in to your tummy, into the side ribs, armpits, upper back, chest, and maybe shoulders rise. Exhale from the shoulders to the armpits, side ribs, and tummy. 2 more breaths like this. And when you are ready, tuck your chin onto your chest, blink your eyes open, lean back, extend your legs, and shake the tension off, and move side to side. There you go. That's your Dirga Pranayama breathing, and we're going to start on the back. laying down just briefly on our Shavasana or corpse pose. Remember, Shavasana is most yogis' favorite pose, my favorite pose. And you want to lay down comfortably. So if you want to have your knees bent because maybe extending the legs feels too much for your lower back and hips, you're welcome to do this. Just try to relax your legs. And for that, I offer you to bring your knees together and roll the weight into the inner edges of your feet if you choose to bend your knees. If you're comfortable extending your legs, we're gonna take a few moments here on our Shavasana. And the first thing I'd like you to do is to bring your right foot off the floor, your right leg, and push your toes away from you. It's like if you were trying to create space between your femur, the head of the thigh bone, and the socket, the hip socket, and push your toes. Now when you're ready, flex your foot and push your heel away, and then release your leg onto the floor. Relax your toes. Notice how it feels on your pelvis. If your leg maybe feels a little closer to the ground, we're gonna ground the other side. So when you're ready, lift the left leg, point your toes, and push your leg away from you. Push, push, push. Make sure this is not bothering your lower back. If you have your foot soles on the floor, you can stay there and that's perfectly fine. You may flex your foot now and press your heel away from you. Feel the extension of your hamstring and then release your foot onto the floor and then relax your foot. Now squeeze your bum and tuck your tailbone. You may lift your hips and tuck your tailbone here and then relax. Readjust your pelvis. We're gonna move a little farther up. When you're ready, draw your wings together and pull them down, and then your ribcage is gonna pop up. Now, mindfully bring it down and allow your shoulders to be broad on the floor. Bring your hands by your sides, palms facing up, and we're gonna do the same thing with the arms that we did with the shoulders. We're gonna create space in the joints. Now that your shoulder blades are moved in, we have moved them in and down, you're gonna bring your right arm off the floor, just a little bit, couple inches, and then pull your fingertips away from you. Feel the extension, and then when you are ready, release your arm onto the ground. Other side, inhale, lift the arm, extend it, and pull your fingertips away from you. And then when you are ready, with control, release that arm on the ground. Move your head side to side. Take a couple of long, deep breaths here. Now, some of us, this cue, you can do it, and we can do the arms again. But this getting up onto the neck, for some of us, we require some assistance. So for that, I invite you to bring your hands behind the neck and interlace your fingers and glide your hands towards the back of the neck. That will just extend your neck enough that you don't feel your head falling back, but not so much that you feel that it's flat on the floor. Then you can do again the adjustment of the arms and the legs and the pelvis, and then release, and pay attention how different your Shavasana feels. You want to feel connected to the ground. You will also feel the natural curvature of the spine. So your lower back is not touching the floor, and it's meant to not touch the floor. The back of the neck will not touch the floor either, and that's perfectly fine. That's what we want. Then pay attention to your toes. If they're tense, you want to relax your toes and feet. You want to relax your ankles. You want to relax your legs. Soften the knees while you do that. Allow your hips to be heavy, your glutes to be soft and relaxed. Allow your tummy to relax so you can expand it every time you breathe in. And let it fall when you breathe out. Remember, Dirga Pranayama, we set the tone at the beginning of the practice. So this is the pattern that you're gonna continue to carry throughout your practice today. Rising energy of prana, inhale, filling up your tummy, your side ribs, your back body, all the way up to the shoulders. And exhale, let all the air go. The next time you inhale, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, move your feet and your hands. Stretch your arms overhead. You can point or flex your feet and squeeze every muscle. Prune face, tight, tight, tight. And exhale, release. We'll do it again. Stretch and tense and squeeze, tight, tight, tight. Exhale. Last one, make it count. Inhale deeply. Tense every corner of your body. Prune face. All tensions go to the hands. And when you're ready, exhale and let all that tension go. When you're ready, point your toes, extend your arms, and fill up your tummy as you inhale. As you exhale, hug your right knee, flex your left foot, and squeeze your knee in towards your body. We'll take a few moments here. Make sure that your shoulders are down and your arms are extended. I'm not extended, but active. Your jaw is relaxed. Your extended leg is active and pressing down onto the floor. Breathing, point your toes, arms overhead. Exhale, left knee comes up. Squeeze all the air out. Flex the right foot. We take a moment once again just to assess the left side. You will notice it doesn't feel the same, and that's normal. So don't get too caught up into trying to match and force your body into things that it doesn't want to do. We're going to follow the pace of our breaths. Inhale, point your toes, arms overhead. And as you exhale, right knee up, flex the left foot. Notice if your mind wants to actually do that. Sometimes both feet wants to flex. And we are training the mind as well, not just the body. Remember, yoga is the connection of the mind, body with the breath, so that we can tune in our true nature, joy. The next time you hug your right knee, we're going to stay here and breathe. If you find this hard to hold, for whatever reason, maybe your tummy is upset and doesn't feel right on your hip or anywhere else, you can bring your knee towards your armpit, and that's fine. Maybe you keep it at the center, play around with the position until you find the place that works for you. Bottom foot is still active. You're still pressing through that heel. That will also help to balance your hips. Relax your jaw. Activate your arms. Breathe against your thigh. Pathanamuktasana or wind reliever. Dirga Pranayama here. Every time you exhale, you might bring your knee closer to the tummy if that's okay for your body. Inhale, you may let go a little bit, and as you exhale, squeeze, let all the air go. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, squeeze and hold. Breathe against the thigh tightly. The next time you inhale, extend your leg, point your toes, arms overhead. Exhale, left knee towards the chest. Hold it tightly, interlace your fingers. Remember, you can always put the hand under the leg if you like. Flex the right foot, push your heel away from you. And once again, we breathe here against the thigh, and maybe we massage the internal organs by bringing the thigh closer to the tummy every time we exhale. Remember that you check with your hip, and if you need to bring your knee wide apart, you can do that. The next time you exhale, hug your leg against your thigh. Relax your shoulders into its sockets and still activate your arms. Breathe. On your next inhalation, extend your leg, point your toes. And as you exhale, full Pavnamuktasana, press your navel onto the floor to protect your lower back and bring your knees towards the chest and squeeze all the air out. If you were working with your foot soles on the floor, you are welcome to release your foot soles down the ground, extend your arms overhead, and exhale, bring your knees up. So this is for those of you who did Shavasana with the feet on the ground. Otherwise, extend as you inhale. Make sure that you're doing your best to press your body down. Exhale, bring your knees in. Watch it if you have any lower back or hip concerns. Inhale, extend. And exhale, squeeze in. Use your arms to press your thighs against your tummy. 2 more, and then we hold. Breathe deeply here. Really getting that engagement of the upper body, but relaxing the neck and the jaw. Breathing against the thighs. Full Pavnamuktasana, stimulating the internal organs. It's really, really good to stimulate the lymph nodes of your tummy. And we get back into our Dirga Pranayama pattern. Discomfort is okay, it's normal, but make sure none of the poses are pinching or torquing your body. You're not in excruciating pain that you're not able to breathe properly, then that means you have gone too far. We'll take one more breath here, full deep breath. And the next time you inhale, bring your foot soles on the floor. And as you exhale, extend your legs, relax your arms. Take a few moments, watch your breath. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Bend your knees, bring your foot soles on the floor. Tuck your tailbone, bring your knees towards the chest, and bring your arms out to the sides at a T position. If you have any lower back concerns, you can keep your foot soles on the floor and let your knees fall towards the left. When you exhale, back to center as you inhale, and to the right as you exhale. Continue at your own pace. I did it backwards. I don't need to mirror you anymore right now. Draw your shoulder blades together. Press the back of your arms onto the floor. Flex your feet. Inhale here. Exhale. Bring yourself down to your side. And that was an inhalation, by the way. Inhale. Next time you exhale, push yourself back to center. So in your inhalation, you let your knees fall to the side. Keep your inner thighs touching whether your feet are on the floor or not. And as you exhale, press yourself back to center. Find your rhythm. You're going to create a fluid motion that matches the pace of your breath. Keep the engagement of your upper body so your shoulders stay on the ground, even if your knees don't touch the floor. Actually, if you can avoid touching the floor, please do that. And we started to the left, we finished to the right. Inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, release your feet onto the floor. Move onto your favorite side. Take a few moments, observe your breath. Use your top hand and slowly help yourself up onto your seated position and gather your props. what we want is our blanket under the knees. You can have as many blankets as you need to. Sit back on your heels for a few moments if you need to do that. Grounding yourself. You can also go onto child's pose, bringing your knees apart, hinging forward from the hips, and bringing your forehead down towards the fist. So pick which one will help you to ground more. Relax your shoulders away from the ears, whether you are down onto your child's pose or sitting up. And this all depends on the knees. Remember, you can place props under your seats. In our first class, we talked about how to use our props in these poses. So remember, a blanket under your ankles can help. A bolster or blankets under your seats can help. If you are down on your child's pose, on your next inhalation, bring your hands under the shoulders. And as you exhale, slowly push yourself up, bringing yourself on a seated position. Walk your hands to the front of the mat, find your tabletop position, press the top of the feet on the floor. For your tabletop, stack your joints, so you want your hips over the knees and your shoulders over the wrists. Middle finger points forward, your thumbs point one another, your pinkies are extended but not hyperextended. Tailbone up as you inhale, drop your tummy, open your chest, look up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the back, let your head dangle. Inhale, tailbone up. Drop your tummy, shoulder blades together, look forward or up. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, round your back, let your head dangle. Find your rhythm, continue at your own pace. And when you are ready, round your back. Take a few moments here, press the mat away from you. And inhale, come back to neutral. Extend your right leg back, curl the toes under as you rest the foot on the floor and press your heel back. Feel the stretch through the back of your right leg. As you inhale, bring that right leg off the floor. Try not to open your hip. Try to keep your hips balanced to the best of your ability. Inhale, open your chest, look forward or up. Exhale, bend your knee, round your back, forehead towards the knee. Inhale, extend your leg, flex your foot, look forward or up. Exhale, foot, you can point your toes and bring your forehead towards the knee. Some of you will touch the knee with the forehead. I can't, but if you can, that's fine. That's great, actually. Good for you. But no, don't make it a goal. Remember, these poses are about connecting your breath with your body. Your mind can be engaged too. Next time you inhale, hold the stretch. Keep your leg back and breathe. Only if it works for you, bring the opposite hand forward, make cupcake hands, and breathe deeply. If this is upsetting your balance, is not working out for you, you can rest your hand back under the shoulder. If you're fine with this, you may try bringing that arm off the floor. Maybe palm faces towards the right. Opening that shoulder, bringing it in towards the socket. The next time you inhale, bring your hand onto the floor. And as you exhale, rest your knee on the ground. Take a few moments here, balance your body, maybe move it side to side. And when you are ready, extend your left leg back, curl the toes under, and press your heel away from you. Push the mat away from you, press the right foot onto the floor. When you are ready, bring that left leg off the floor, press your heel, breathe. And as you inhale, press your heel back. And as you exhale, bring your knee towards the forehead, round your back. Inhale, extend your leg, flex your foot, open your chest. Exhale, bring your forehead to knee. 3 more. Holding the last one, breathing deeply. Shoulders into wet sockets, and you can stay here and balance your hips, or you can bring the opposite hand forward, cupcake hand. And if it works for you, bring that right hand off the floor. Maybe your palm faces towards the left. Throw your shoulder into wet socket. Maybe your gaze is down on the floor to protect your neck. The next time you inhale, bring your hand down onto the floor. And as you exhale, bring your knee on the ground. Bring your big toes to touch, knees apart. Sit back on your heels. Rest your elbows on the floor. You don't need to bring your forehead down. Rotate your wrists. Both ways. And again. Now, see if it works for you to bring the top of the hands together. Bring your elbows out to the side so your fingertips are pointing towards you. Your thumbs are pointing up towards the sky. Now, bring your thumbs down and rest your forehead on your hands. See if that works. Breathe deeply. Every time we go on to child's pose, you grab your props and you do what you need to do to be comfortable. Take one more breath here, full deep breath. Next time you inhale, lift your head, bring your hands under the shoulders. Exhale, push yourself up. Walk towards tabletop again. Now from tabletop, allow your hands maybe to be a little wider if you want. We can try that. Eyes of the elbows face forward, thumbs point one another. So by what I mean by a little wider, maybe like an inch wider. Now when you are ready, press the mat away from you. You're gonna hollow up your chest and your armpits so your upper back is rounded. Try to keep, without rounding the lumbar spine, we keep the lumbar spine neutral. Okay, so this is normal. Now push the mat away from you, hollow up your chest, hollow up your armpits. Put equal weight on the corners of your hands. Your knuckles are pressing down to the floor, but some people have the hyperextension happening. So my hands don't do that. So, well, maybe a little bit, but not when I'm on that pose. But some of you might find that your fingers are kind of moving up, your fingertips. You don't want that. You don't want hyperextension. So if you know that your fingers can do that, do have a little bit of a bend on the knuckles, okay? So make sure that you're distributing the weight evenly on your hands. It's important. This is going to protect your wrists. Now, once again, push the mat away from you, hollow up your chest, your armpits, keep your lower back neutral. Actually, if you can, take it into a little bit of a anterior tilt, curl the toes under, draw the navel in. So see, once you go into anterior tilt and you go into that sway of the back, the moment you draw the navel in, you neutralize your spine. Super important to protect it. All right, so when you are ready, sip the navel, pick up the knees, push your chest towards the thighs, and we're hollowing up armpits and chest. So we're rounding the upper back, not bringing the shoulder blades together, like the song I sing every day, shoulder blades together, back and down. Well, we're not doing that right now. We're bringing them apart. Relax your neck. Move your head yes and no. High blood pressure, bring yourself down onto the floor. Keep your head above the chest. Extend your arms forward, and you can still hollow up the armpits and extend a little bit. Your head doesn't have to touch the floor, and actually you can keep it higher. Micro bend the elbows, watch it, especially in this extended position. Don't hyperextend them. Awesome, I had you here in downward dog for a little too long. So we're gonna take one more breath in downward dog, full deep breath. And the next time you inhale, bring your knees to the floor, uncurl the toes, knees apart, sit back, stack your fist, forehead down. Take a few moments. Notice your breath. Notice the blood rushing down.
Guess what? We're gonna do another downward facing dog. Bring your hands under the shoulders as you inhale, and exhale, slowly push yourself up. Walk towards the top of the mat. So remember, from tabletop, you may bring your hands a little wider apart. So rather than right below the shoulders, we're gonna try just a little bit wider. Almost nothing, you guys. Maybe an inch, half an inch each hand, so 1 inch altogether. Push the mat away. Hollow up your chest and your armpits. Curl the toes under, sip through the navel, pick up the knees, push your hands down and forward, and chest comes towards the thighs as your hips go towards the sky. Continue to round your upper back. Continue to hollow up your chest and your armpits. Move your head yes and no. Some of you might start extending the back of the legs, trying to bring the heels to the floor, but making sure that that is not putting any pressure, any tension on your lower back or changing the position of your back. And the other thing that you want to make sure is that your toes are not gripping. The next time you inhale, bring your knees onto the floor. And as you exhale, bring your right foot forward. Inhale, pick up the left foot, the left knee, and exhale, step forward. About a fist distance between the big toes, and you want the same distance between your knees. The outer edges of your feet are parallel to the outer edges of the mat. Let your toes rise, bend your knees more, bring your hands on your thighs, squeeze your bum, come halfway. Sip through the navel, so draw the navel in, pull it up. That will neutralize your back and your pelvis. When you are ready, with control, engage your bum, engage your legs, walk your hands up the legs, shoulders back and down. Squeeze your buttocks, palms face forward, relax your shoulder blades this time, together and down. Close your eyes, don't let your mind wander. And notice where in your body you are putting the weight. Is it left or right? Is it back or front? Do you have the tendency to lean forward? Some of us do that. We have the ski jumper position, and that means that we always are leaning forward, putting all that pressure onto the hamstrings, the Achilles, the calves. So you want to start training your body to bring the weight back towards your heels. So your pubic bone, your hip bones are always at the same level. Your navel is engaged so that it's protecting your back. And you want your upper back to still be rounded because that's what it's supposed to do, but we don't want to hunch. But what we want to do is to retract the blades and push them down, and that will keep your proud position. So we don't want to lose that. We want to open up our hearts and send it to the heart, to the sky. Tuck the chin onto the chest. Breathe. Are you engaging more one side of the body than the other? Can you match? Bring your hands together in Namaste position. Relax your toes, but don't let them grip. Inhale, bring your hands towards the sky. Maybe your gaze follow the hands. Hands by the heart, bend your knees. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fall forward. Bend your knees more, squeeze your bum, inhale, come up, hands in a circular motion by your sides. Gaze up. Exhale, hands to the center of the heart. Again, breathe in. Breathe out, hinge at the hips, fall forward. Bend your knees more, inhale, squeeze your bum, hands in a circular motion, come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge at the hips, lower. Bend your knees more, inhale, come up. Exhale, down. Again, inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Don't let your knees collapse at the center, keep them pointing forward. Bend your knees more, squeeze your bum, come up. And exhale, hands to heart center, shoulders back and down. Bring your hands towards the sky, palms touch, and as you exhale, side bend to your right. And so your side bend is gentle. We're not going too deep into this half moon. If this is too much for your shoulders, release your hands by your sides. You can even bring your hands on your hips or one hand down, your right hand down. If you want to go a little deeper, you don't have to. So whichever version works for your shoulders. Squeeze your bum, put equal weight on left and right. And next time you inhale, come back up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Breathing deeply. Remember, you can have your hands on your hips or your left hand down. It will allow you to go a little deeper, but it also may make you hinge too much. And we want extension. So maybe the hand on the hip will help you to not collapse. Next time you inhale, come back to center. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center, shoulders back and down, hands on your hips. Step back with your left foot. Watch for your blanket. And actually take your blanket once you get back there, out of the way. From here, you want your left outer edge of your foot, the outer edge of your left foot, matching the short end of the mat. The front heel matches the arch of your back foot. Your feet are active, your toes are lifted, your bum is engaged, and you can maybe balance your hips and allow them to face the long end of the mat. Slightly tuck your chin, draw your rib cage in, bring your arms at a T position as you inhale. And as you exhale, while your left hip goes to the left, your right arm goes to the right. We're gonna rest the inner part or the top of the hand to the inner part of the front leg and bring your left hand either on your hip or on your lower back, or some of you who want a little more for that shoulder, you can bring that left hand to the sky. So things to look for, you don't want any torquing sensation on your knees. If you know you're hyperextending your knee, like if you have that tendency, you're quite flexible here, micro bend the knee or bend the knee a lot, just don't let it pass the ankle, and that's fine. Make sure that you feel comfortable, that you are safe, you can go by the wall. Find your breath, Trikonasana or triangle. Make sure your bum is engaged, and that will protect your hips and your lower back. Draw your navel in, pull it up, and watch for the neck. Your gaze can be up, forward, or down. Remember what we're doing with the shoulder blades? Together and down. The next time you exhale, pull yourself up with that top hand and come back to a T position. Inhale, shoulders back and down. Exhale, hands on your hips. Now, when you're ready, turn your toes forward and bring your left toes out to the left and your right toes slightly in, or you can keep the outer edge of the foot matching the short end of the mat. From here, squeeze your bum, engage your hips, balance your hips, and bring your arms at a T position. The next time you exhale, your right hip goes back and your left fingertips go towards the left. Once you find that extension that works for you, side bend towards the left. Bring your the inner part of the top part of your hand to the inner side of your leg. Your right arm goes to the sky or to your lower back or to your hip. You think about opening your chest. Feet are active, knee is not extending, you're not pressing your knee down by on any way. If you need to come higher, you come higher. If you need to bend that front knee, you bend the knee. Just make sure this is suitable. Your legs and your glutes are going to be working regardless of the position you choose. And think about opening the front part of your body towards the long end of the mat without forcing. So if you had your arm back, bring it up. Next time you exhale, pull yourself up and bring yourself at a T position. Shoulders back and down as you inhale, arms down, toes forward. Now we're gonna move the hips side to side, just getting that, shaking that tension off. And bend your knees and start adjusting your feet. So that means that your toes and your knees will point on the same direction. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And when you're ready, extend your legs and bring yourself down. So your legs are not fully extended, you extend just a little bit. Your toes are out to the sides. We're working with the external rotation of the hips. You're not falling all the way, you're going halfway. Breathing deeply here, maybe walk your hands forward a little bit, shifting your weight forward a little bit, maybe cupcake hands. Your glutes are engaged. Press your heels back onto the floor, lift the toes. Knees and toes point on the same direction, so not everybody will have the toes really wide, maybe a little bit, depending what your hips are doing. Maybe sit a little lower if your body allows. Watch for the hips, don't let them pinch. And the next time you inhale, extend your legs, hands on your thighs, keep your micro bend on the knees, and help yourself up. Squeeze your bum as you come up. Awesome. Now when you are ready, turn your right toes out to the right and bring yourself back to Tadasana when you're ready. Toes and knees fist distance apart. Engage your bum, shoulders back and down. Palms face forward. Bring your hands together at the center of the heart, shoulders back and down. Bring your palms towards the front. Now, the heels of the hands are touching and your palms are facing forward. Make sure that your toes are lifted. Tuck your tailbone, breathing against the pressure. So when you are ready, bring your left fingertips up, right fingertips down, and breathe in your arms wide apart. Once you find that extension through your armpits, you're gonna maybe stretch a little farther back as you inhale, or maybe as you hold Kumbhaka if it's in your practice. When you're ready to exhale, bring the heels of the hands together. Move your hands the other way, so right fingertips point up, left fingertips down. Inhale, open. So once again, sideways. You don't want to arch. You want to sip through the navel and press. Shoulders are back and down. And exhale back in. And switch. You may close your eyes once you your body knows this little exercise. And you connect with Dirga Pranayama, the yogic breath. That breathing technique we set up at the beginning of the practice. From your tummy all the way into your side ribs, into your armpits, into your shoulders. And when you exhale from the shoulders to your armpits and down to your belly. So remember that Kumbhaka is the pause at the top of the inhalation. It is not recommended if you have any concerns with your heart, high blood pressure, if you suspect of being pregnant, if you have a headache or your sinuses are blocked, you don't want to do Kumbhaka today. Eye pressure, anything that can just make you feel very uncomfortable is enough for you to skip that Kumbhaka. You instead want to breathe as deeply as you can as you stretch your arms and using really your shoulders and your arms rather than your back. I'm going to leave you to it for a few rounds. You can relax your toes on the floor if you wish, but try to keep the weight on the heels. Try to keep your bum engaged. We started with the left hand going up. So we do one more round on each side. And when your left hand comes back to center from being down, you're going to release your hands by your sides, palms facing up. Keep your eyes closed. Don't let your mind wander. Watch your breath. The pause is as important as the series and the asanas. The pause is when we connect. That is where we connect. Observe. Pay attention. My teacher used to say that when the lungs are full of breath and full of prana, there will be no space for depression, for worries, for sadness. If you're having a hard time controlling your mind and your emotions, instead of fighting with them, pick a pranayama and begin by controlling your breath. The yogis also say that those who control the breath will master the mind. So we'll take 2 more breaths here in Tadasana, mountain pose. Tuck your chin onto your chest, blink your eyes open, release your hands. And finally, for our standing series, let us get into a balancing pose. So last week, we worked with 3 poses. And again, we're going to find that Tadasana, squeeze and build the pose from the heels all the way up to the crown of the head, squeezing through the glutes and drawing the navel in. Bring your hands to your hips. And when you are ready, bend your right knee and open out to the right. Bring your toes off the floor if you can. They can rest on the floor, but make sure they're not gripping. Then move your foot sole against your ankle. You can keep your toes on the floor for balance. You can rest your toes on the floor in any way that feels right. Some of you might bring your foot a little higher, some of you a little higher, and some of you might bring the foot into the inner thigh. Just make sure that when you do that, because sometimes doing that, what it does, it just locks the hip, and we don't want that. So if you decide to go up into your inner thigh, once you get there, press your inner thigh against your foot and your foot against your inner thigh, squeeze through your bum, press your pubic bone forward, engage both feet, and find your center. So I like it here. So we're gonna go into whatever pose you want, squeezing the buttocks, so there is no, don't get too caught up into how the pose needs to look like. Press your right knee out to the right. Keep squeezing your buttocks. Make sure that your left knee is not upset. And this time we're going to bring our arms out to the sides into victory shape, victory arms. Maybe bring your thumbs and your index to touch for Gyan Mudra. Breathe. If you're wobbly, that's fine. If you need to come down and do it again, that's fine. If you need to go by the wall, that's fine too. Find your drishti, your focal point. The next time you inhale, extend your hands and bring your palms together. And as you exhale, bring your hands to the center of the heart, your knee forward, extend your foot forward, and then release and shake the tension off. And when you are ready, you're gonna find your way back onto Tadasana. Squeeze your buttocks, activate from the feet to the crown. Hands on your hips, bend your left knee and open out to the left. And so once again, once you find your position, find your the right place for your foot. So you can go with the toes down, you can come all the way up. Just avoid the knee. Just avoid collapsing into your hip. If you start feeling your standing hip, you have collapsed into it. So you want to bring yourself up, and there's nothing better to stabilize your pelvis than engaging your buttocks. So remember that cue, even if I forget to mention it. Press your shoulders down gently, engage your plates. Maybe victory arms, maybe Gyan Mudra. Breathe.
Don't take yourself too seriously. One day you find your balance is awesome, and then the next day it's not. And then maybe it's not even the next day. Maybe one side is like, wow, look at me go. And then the other side is like, who am I? So don't take it too hard. Have fun with it. And when you are ready on your next breath, release your hands, bring them together, down to center, and then release your knee forward, foot forward and down. So I want to take this opportunity to show you what's going on. So this is not to justify my lack of balance, but this is true and it might resonate with you. My right hip, I used to dance and my right side was my good side, so I always did my splits and did everything with my right leg whenever we danced. It was my right leg that will do the hard work because it looked better. I didn't develop so much the flexibility on the left side, and I'm paying the price until this day. So what happens is that when I get to stand on my left foot, I feel very much stable, sort of, but way more. When I get to stand on my right foot, that's a total different story. So if you find that you have one hip that you can make a little test, like if you lift your feet and just march and then let your feet relax, look down, and if you find that it's one foot or one toe that are actually a little bit out to the side than the other, that might mean that you have a wider rotation on that hip. Maybe that hip moves a little more. So you might find that that's the one that is giving you trouble. It's in my case, maybe not in yours, but anyhow. We're gonna go down to the floor, no fancy way. Just find your way onto your tummy. And working with our Bhujangasana, we will continue to do our breathing Bhujangasana, or breathing cobra, pranic cobra, or pranic Bhujangasana. Press the top of the feet on the floor. Maybe bring your feet to touch. If that bothers your hips, keep your feet fist distance apart. Bring your hands by your rib cage, elbows in towards the body, forehead down. Inhale, bring your forehead, nose, chin, chest off the floor. And you don't need to go all the way up. Just find that position that works for your lower back. When you exhale, lower your chest, chin, nose, and forehead. Inhale, forehead, nose, chin, chest up. Exhale, chest, chin, nose, and forehead down. Again. And again down. The next time you inhale, come up, and hold. Keep engaging your arms, squeeze them in. Remember, your legs can be touching. If that doesn't work for your hips, keep as much distance between your feet as your hips need. Your gaze can go up if your neck allows. Maybe your eyes, you can bring them up too. And next time you exhale with control, rest your chest, chin, nose, forehead down. Bring your hands under the forehead. Big toes touch, heels out. Take a few moments here. If you choose, bend your knees and move your feet side to side. Bring yourself back to center. Feet down, hands under the shoulders as you inhale. And as you exhale, push yourself up. Find your tabletop. Press your hands on the floor, a little wider hands. Hollow up your chest, your armpits. Draw the navel in, curl the toes under, pick up the knees as you exhale. Push your chest to the thighs, bring your hips to the sky. And continue to round your upper back and continue to send your tailbone up and your heels down. Next time you inhale, bring your knees onto the floor. Exhale, this time if it works for you. Actually, let's do something first. Press the hands on the ground. Tuck your tailbone round your back and let your head dangle. You can stay here if this is what feels right today.
If your knees and your hips allow, send your buttocks back to the heels. Keep your back rounded. Maybe stack your fists and rest your forehead down. So this version of the child's pose is with your knees together, and this is going to help you to round your back, just to counter stretch the Bhujangasana we just did, or the cobra pose. Observe your breath. Bring your hands under the shoulders as you inhale. And as you exhale, slowly and mindfully, come up onto your seated position. So you can sit on your pillow, bolster, or you can once again make yourself a little support for your tailbone. The sitting on a prop is an option. You want to make sure that you are comfortable. So we started crossing our legs, and possibly your legs were crossed and your dominant leg was in front. So to see our practice, if you would like, cross the other way, so it will feel odd for you. Balance the weight on left and right. Roll your shoulders back and down. Gyan Mudra, thumbs and index touch. Press your hands on your thighs or your knees, palms facing up. See if your shoulders are right over the hips. Slightly tuck your chin onto your chest. This mudra sends all the pranic flow down into your legs. It also promotes Dirga Pranayama. So even if you're not trying to do the 3-part breath, you might notice it is already happening. If you need more time here breathing with your mudra and your pranayama, you are welcome to pause the video and stay here for as long as you need. Otherwise, let us take 3 more breaths. Relax your fingers, tuck your chin onto your chest, and blink your eyes open. Find your way onto your back. You can have your blankets if you want. You can have your pillow if you want, close or under your legs. Before we go into the last asana, if you find that you need some relief, maybe you want to go into swiveling your knees or hugging the knees and rocking side to side, or anything at all that your body's calling for, you are welcome to go for it now. And at your own time, you will return onto your Shavasana. And when you're ready, bend your knees and bring your foot soles to the ground. Allow your foot soles to touch, let your knees flare. Tuck your tailbone, release your sacrum on the floor. Pubic bone and hip bones are balanced. Rib cage is on the ground. You can keep your hands on your rib cage or on your hips, or you can relax your hands by your sides. The props are optional. Some days they feel good, some days they might not. So we just go by the day, see what the body is needing on that particular practice. Relax your jaw, relax your face. Let your eyes sink into its sockets. Maybe move your head side to side. If you would like, you can interlace your fingers and pass your hands behind your neck to elongate the neck. It will serve you as a traction. Draw your shoulder blades together and down. Extend your arms, pull them away, and then release them onto the floor. Bring your knees up, extend your legs on the ground. Remember, you want to tuck your tailbone, press your heels away, creating space between the head of the femur and your hip socket, relaxing the feet, relaxing the jaw. The whole body is relaxed. Watch your breath. You can stay here for as long as you need. Remember, pausing the video is a good idea if you want more Shavasana time. Send your breath and awareness down to your feet. Wiggle your toes. Move your feet side to side. Wiggle your fingers. Move your hands and stretch your arms overhead. Tense every muscle from toes to fist. Tight, tight, tight. Prune face. Exhale, release. Again, stretch and tense and squeeze every muscle. Flex or point your feet. Squeeze your bum, your thighs. Press your body onto the floor. Exhale, release. Last one, make it count. Inhale. From feet to fist, squeeze, tight, 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 tight. All tensions, all worries go into the hands. And when you are ready, open your hands, exhale all the tensions out. You're gonna go onto your favorite side. When you're ready, you can put your props aside. Take a few moments here, check in with your breath. Use your top hand to slowly help yourself up. On your next exhalation, maybe go on to a cross-legged position. Any seated position that suits your body. Remember, you can go cross-legged, sit on your heels, use your props, remove the extra flesh from underneath. So you can also have your foot over the thigh, but make sure that you're not hyperextending the ankle. So this doesn't make you more advanced or less advanced. It just means that your hips need to do that or they do that. So everybody has different needs. So please find the ones that will work for you. It's just another option for you to sit up tall. Press your body down onto the floor. Draw your shoulders back and down, your blades together. Bring your hands together at the center of the heart. Relax your jaw and your face. Maybe draw a smile on your face. Even if you don't feel like smiling, just for a few moments and your brain will catch up. If there is anybody in your mind today, you can send them your pranic love, your pranic vibes through your breath. Every time you breathe in and out, think of them. Think of your exhalations, showering them with love and light. Do that for yourself too, please. Relax your jaw, your face.
We're going to seal our practice with the sound and vibration of Om. We'll take a breath together first. Inhale. Exhale. Think of those you love. Inhale through your nostrils. Shower them with the vibration of Om. Observe your breath. Inhale to the top of your lungs, expand. Side out. Again, inhale. Side out. Last one, breathe in. Let all tension out. Tuck your chin onto your chest. Blink your eyes open. Rub your hands together. Shower yourself with your good vibes all around you. Shake off all tensions, all worries, all sadness. Don't take it with you. Thank you so much, yogis. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.